In this episode of Travelogue, we take you to Malaysia, a country with a potpourri of cultures. We'll visit a vibrant historical town, see the different cultures that dominate Malaysia, and learn the secret to a harmonious multicultural population.
Welcome to Travelogue. This country is famous for its food, its diversity in people, culture, even in natural heritage, and has a long coastline graced with beautiful tropical beaches. You know where I am?
I'm in Malaysia, a nation with almost unrivaled diversity. Situated in Southeast Asia, Malaysia consists of a peninsula attached to the Asian mainland and the island of Borneo across the South China Sea. In our mini-series on Malaysia, we'll take you to the western part of the Malay Peninsula, where we'll start our journey from the south in Malacca. We'll head to Putrajaya and from there up to Malaysia's capital, Kuala Lumpur. We'll then continue north to Pangkor Island, Penang, and end our journey in Langkawi. Malacca used to be a major port along the spice route in the 15th century, and the histories of the Malays are also said to have started here. Hence, we've decided to start our journey in the historical Malacca. Every time you flip through brochures on Malacca, you're bound to see pictures of this place, the Dutch Square or Red Square. It's a great starting point for visiting the old part of Malacca, and also a good spot to people watch and to meet people. We got a very cool car! How long have you had this car?
I had it for 2 years.
2 years? It's vintage. Are you Malaccan?
Oh yes.
Food-wise, what would you recommend?
Well, I think the Baba-Nyonya food is very nice here.
Yeah. Okay.
Sure, yeah.
Baba-Nyonya food, yes. Okay. Shall we go for a ride? Just like...
Hey, you want to go around?
Yes, just one round. When you're here, spare some time to enjoy the sights and sounds of Malacca, the colours and the remarkable exuberance, considering the place is over 600 years old. And the Queen arrives. Thank you for such a great ride. He took me around the old Malacca town with this vintage car. I can't ask for more, truly. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for having me in your car. I feel so privileged. Alright, have a good ride. Bye. Bye-bye. If you don't get to meet that kind and cool dude when you're in Malacca, no sweat. The next best way to see and experience this town comfortably whilst getting to know a local is to hop into one of these riotously decorated rickshaws, which cost about 40 ringgit or $12 per hour. He says he knows how to speak Mandarin. Cool. It's thanks to Malacca's commitment to preserving its past that the younger generations are able to enjoy the extraordinary story of the empire's rise and fall here.
We do the plastering to maintain it, to prevent it from falling.
Okay, so
Yeah,
was it already like that when the Portuguese came?
No, what Portuguese came is only like this. This is the Portuguese people.
Okay.
Right? This plaster is done in 19th century, 20th century.
Okay.
Very much later.
Yeah.
This is all the Dutch sizes.
Okay.
Yeah? The British standard it don't have this.
Yeah, it's usually the thick ones.
The one that we are using now currently for our houses is all British standard, the thicker one. This is 3/4 inch.
Okay, so this would be the Dutch work.
Yeah, the Dutch work.
And that's the Portuguese.
That's the Portuguese work.
Any signs of British here?
The up there, there's an arch hanging the bell for hanging the bell. This is from the British.
The Sultanate of Malacca was a powerful force in the 1400s due to its prime location for regional trade and the shelter it enjoyed from the monsoon winds. This attracted the Portuguese, Dutch and British, whose influence was felt in Malacca from the early 16th century until 1957.
Up the hill is this chapel built by the Portuguese. The Dutch later turned it into a burial ground for the nobility. Now it's full of life and with great acoustics.
Saya dilahirkan memang di Malacca, so saya memang bangga jadi anak Malacca. Chinese lah, tapi Baba-Nyonya.
Okay, so kamu due to Malacca's strategic location, pleasant climate and ample supply of fresh water, it has attracted many foreign traders, mainly the Chinese, not forgetting the Portuguese, Dutch and British. Hence, it's common to find locals with mixed ancestry, notably the Straits Chinese and Portuguese communities which still thrive in this bustling little town. Next, we'll learn the ways of the Straits Chinese, and if you want to pick up a tip or two on how to dress up fashionably yet modestly and become a marryable person, stay tuned. Welcome back to Travelogue's Malaysia special and to where we left off in the first part, Malacca. Across the river from the Red Square is where the Chinese influence is felt most. Here you can witness old traditions and dying trades with old artisans making beaded shoes, rattan furniture, even coffins and gravestones. The old town of Malacca is a fairly easy place to get around on foot, as it's quite a small area. So small, in fact, we can actually hear someone familiar approaching.
Hi, good morning. How are you?
Yeah, give me some photo. I want it in my Facebook.
Wow, cool. Okay.
Alright, bye bye. Okay.
Alright, see ya.
That sure was a great way to wake the sleepy town up in the morning, huh? Every morning, you'll find many local Chinese in this Qingyunting temple, which houses ancestral tablets and is dedicated to many different deities. They also practice one other thing.
This is a very interesting Chinese temple in the old town of Malacca, where they cater to people who believe in Confucianism, Buddhism and even Taoism. This is a very rare and interesting scenario, and it is the only temple in Malaysia that has this feature.
I think this temple's practice of the three doctrinal systems is a good analogy for Malaysia and Malacca. Malacca's long been a meeting place for various religions, and I believe the secret to the harmony of this multicultural population is respect. Though people here are thoroughly mixed, they're not so completely blended that they lose their individual identity, culture and customs. Take this shoe shop for example. The Chinese culture still stands strong here as they continue making these traditional Malaccan beaded shoes and the infamous lotus shoes worn by women in China with bound feet right up till the early 1900s.
This flower, yeah. How small it is. Can't imagine fitting my feet in there, my god.
Of course, foot binding is hardly practiced anymore, but many people still find it fascinating looking at this ancient Chinese footwear.
Malacca is a remarkable place to witness instances of cultural infusion. Over here, you cannot escape the term Baba-Nyonya being referred to again and again. So today we are here in this Baba-Nyonya Heritage Museum. This whole Baba-Nyonya culture came about in the 15th century when Chinese merchants came to settle in Malacca and married the local Malay women. And over time, these two cultures assimilated and created a distinct culture on its own called Baba-Nyonya culture, or the Straits Chinese culture. And Baba actually refers to men and Nyonya refers to the women of this cultural infusion. So do come here when you are here in Malacca. Take a look at their architecture, taste their food. There's so much you can experience over here.
A book I once read compared Malaysians to a popular local dish called rojak, a mixed fruit salad in a sweet, thick sauce in which the flavors of the individual fruits are still maintained, but become different overall because of the special sauce binding them. And speaking of food,
you know the famous saying, the way to a man's heart is through his tummy? Well, we're about to learn what it takes to become a good, marryable nyonya. I'm running a bit late and that's not a good start. Hi. Hi.
Baby paste. No, you have to put more. And then the cooking also, the mixture Chinese with Malay. Okay? Very simple. Once you fry, little put in the. Okay, I think it's sour enough. Coconut. Waiting.
The waiting.
The waiting is torturous. Yeah.
Nice.
Really typical Peranakan people. They are very fussy in preparing their food.
Yeah.
Okay, the way you cut the food, the way you cut the veggie must be almost the same.
Yeah.
You cannot cut too big. You know,
I read this book about how a mother was teaching a daughter how to cook, and then she's always like watching every move, and if there's some mistake, she'll just hit the hand.
Yes.
Sounds tough to be a nyonya.
But
are you ever pressured in any way?
But actually, I appreciate that because from there I learned
good standards.
Normally the Peranakan people like to say, if you don't cut like that, who want to marry you? They said no man want to marry you. If,
No wonder I'm still
oh, see?
Single.
I think you cannot.
Oh, you see, I can't be. This is so embarrassing.
and this completes the picture.
It's such a pity that we've got to leave Malacca right now. Over the past 2 days, I really had a great time mingling with the locals of different backgrounds, learning about the Baba-Nyonya culture and even about Malaysia's history. But unfortunately, we've got to follow our schedule and head up north right now to Putrajaya. This place is known to be a very well-planned city, and I'm really looking forward to see how it's like.
Putrajaya, nicknamed the Intelligent Garden City, is the country's administration hub integrating technology, culture and nature. The buildings here bear elements of the Malay and Arabic architecture that form part of the country's national heritage. Another central feature of Putrajaya is a lake designed to cool down the city as well as help in flood control and water purification.
How are you liking the view? I'm now standing at a spot where we can have a great view of Putrajaya. This is the administrative capital of Malaysia, and it is a fairly new city where ministries from Kuala Lumpur started moving in only in 1998. And if you're the type who enjoys modern architecture, this is the perfect place for you to marvel at them.
Sure, Putrajaya is home to the Prime Minister's office and various ministries, but it's also a great place for the outdoorsy types, as 38% of the area is reserved for green spaces. Even the King of Malaysia has a royal retreat here. Speaking of the king, Malaysia has a unique political system of a rotational monarchy, with the sultans and rajas of the royal states taking turn to be king every 5 years.
So we're now taking a cruise on Putrajaya Lake, and the name Putrajaya is actually derived from Malaysia's founding father, whose middle name is Putra, and Jaya in Malay means success. So Putrajaya actually gives like a very positive connotation to this administrative capital of Malaysia.
Oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
Next, we head 40 minutes north to where we first set foot in Malaysia.
So we've just arrived Kuala Lumpur, and I have been given an apartment all to myself. Now this is the kitchen. Wow, a little dining table here. This is almost like fit for a family actually. And the best thing is that it costs just 750 ringgit per night, which is about $230 US. Well, we've got an important event to attend to tonight, so gotta get ready. So I'm all dressed and made up for the Islamic Fashion Festival. Well, I figured this would be a very eye-opening and interesting event to attend because Malaysia is, after all, a Muslim country, and this is also my first time attending a fashion show, so I'm really excited about it. Alright, they're obviously not snapping away at me, as the Islamic Fashion Festival is a grand affair attended by royalty, diplomats, socialites, high government officials, celebrities, and fashionistas. The Islamic Fashion Festival has grown since its debut show in Kuala Lumpur in 2006 to shows in Abu Dhabi, Dubai, New York, Singapore, London, and Monte Carlo, just to name a few. Despite Islam being the dominant and official religion of Malaysia, nearly all other major world religions have substantial representations here. Religion correlates strongly with ethnicity, with most Malays being Muslims, most Indians Hindus, and most Chinese Buddhists. But interracial marriages and the freedom of religion among the non-Muslim community mean that religious barriers have largely been broken down. There's the perception that Islamic dress is intended to hide a woman's beauty, since the basic requirement is for the attire to be loose with the whole body except the face and hands concealed. The festival sets out to show that Islamic dress isn't superficial that way. It's a reflection of a woman's behavior, modesty being the key word. And tonight's show invites us to understand and appreciate the call for women to cover up in Islam.
Interesting and glamorous. I'm starting to feel a bit inspired. Maybe I should start dressing like that.
Kuala Lumpur, or as locals call it, KL, has a very vibrant nightlife. This may come as a surprise to some, as the city is the capital of a largely Muslim country. If this isn't your cup of tea, there are other choices for you, from laid-back lounges to 24-hour mamak stalls, which are down-to-earth food stalls run by Tamil Muslims. A definite hit amongst the locals.
Where else have you been in Kuala Lumpur? Chinatown? Yeah, you've got to know how to cut the price.
And yes, although Malaysia is a largely Muslim country, you can still find watering holes around. Up next, we'll tame our monkey mind in a temple up in a limestone cave, get some shopping done in a traditional market, and have a taste of one of the best smelling fruits in the world. After all the glitz and glamour from last night, it's good to tame our monkey mind. And what better place to do that than in an Indian temple within a limestone cave just 13 kilometers north of Kuala Lumpur. The Indians have exerted an influence in Malaysia from a long time ago. Even the name Malaya, as Malaysia used to be known, is said to come from the Sanskrit term Malayur or Malay in Tamil, meaning land of mountains.
中国
China, Chungo.
你好 你好 How long have you been here?
I living 7 years now, 7 years.
7 years. How do you like it living here now?
Ah, good.
Yeah?
Batu Caves is known for its many steep steps to the top, and along the way you'll meet many friendly people and also wow, okay, no. Be careful.
Most people refuse to resist their assault as they think these monkeys may be their reincarnated ancestors.
Many Hindu devotees come here to pay their respects to Lord Murugan, and during Thaipusam they have things pierced into their skin, their cheeks, their tongue. If you're interested in this, come here in January.
Thaipusam celebrated during the Tamil month of Thai, between January and February. Hindu devotees have heavy objects or kavadis attached to them with metal skewers and hooks as they ascend the 272 steps of Batu Caves. They believe it's not possible to reach God without effort and sacrifice. Only those who pass the test will be blessed.
Monkey attack!
No video. Monkey disturb. Lucky, good luck.
So I've got protection from Lord Shiva.
Okay.
Yeah, and also for good luck.
Yeah, Lord Shiva's blessings. Yes.
And then that's for
This
good
is
luck.
ashes actually.
Ashes,
Yeah, this is ashes, and it is kind of significance for Lord Shiva's prayers.
Okay.
So all people in South India, they put this every day morning.
They're so vicious.
Back to where we were before I was jumped on. Another important festival celebrated by the Hindus is Diwali, the festival of lights, when believers revel in the awareness of their inner light or higher wisdom. This represents the awakening to something beyond our physical body, which is pure and eternal. With our newfound peace of mind, we tackled the traffic in the city easily. The western part of the Malay Peninsula is home to the bulk of Malaysia's population and its capital city, Kuala Lumpur. Although the seat of government was shifted from Kuala Lumpur to Putrajaya due to the congestion and overcrowding, KL remains a bustling city. With old colonial buildings standing alongside iconic high-rises such as the Petronas Twin Towers, it's refreshing just walking on the streets, feeling and enjoying the contrasts. Another great feature of Kuala Lumpur is that it's highly unlikely you get lost in the city if you don't know the Malay language. English is widely spoken, and you can get by with Chinese and its dialects too. Malaysia is a melting pot of ethnicities, cultures and traditions, and KL being the capital makes it the perfect place to witness multiculturalism.
We're now in Kasturi Walk, and Central Market is right beside us. Central Market is a one-stop shopping center where you can find all things Malaysian, from handicrafts, artwork, traditional costume, even Malaysian cuisine.
Kuala Lumpur is famous for its vibrant shopping scene, and recent years have seen more malls sprouting in the city. But unlike modern shopping malls, Central Market is a traditional market dedicated to local arts and crafts.
Fruit basket.
Whoa! Great gift, huh?
Nice. Oh, and this is the very famous Malaysian moon kite that originates from the eastern state of Kelantan. And I read that the more beautiful it is, the more it appeases the spirits in the sky. I think this makes a great gift.
If you haven't got any plans to meet someone afterwards, you've got to try this.
How do you differentiate a good durian from a bad one? Firstly is to look at the thorns. Thorns have to be broad and far away from each other, unlike this one. Secondly, when you tap on it, it's got to have this empty feeling, empty sound to it. 这是好还是坏？
它声音是很硬啊，听到吗？
硬。
硬。
OK。
就是说不熟啊。声音不一样，弹性，就是说很熟啊。
And the third way of identifying whether it's good or not would be to shake it. If you can hear the fruits moving in it, that's a good one. It's so educational, huh?
I sure am glad smell can't be recorded.
This is the best thing ever.
Malaysia is close to the equator, hence you should expect warm weather with an average temperature of 27 degrees Celsius all year round. But with climate change, I'd strongly suggest you have an umbrella handy daily. In just Malacca, Putrajaya and Kuala Lumpur alone, we've witnessed such contrast in terms of architecture, fashion and way of life. We even had a taste of the world's most offensive smelling fruit. I'm KayLi Lum. I'll see you again in our Malaysia special when we head further north along the Straits of Malacca.